Hello everyone, harvest is underway here in Central Illinois, and just wanted to take a couple brief minutes here to share some data from a nitrogen rate demo that I've done for the last couple years. Quick overview of the trial design. It has been on rotated ground. At the time of planting, I've had no nitrogen applied, and I came back in at V4 to V5 time period with a side dress bar and put on 32% UAN. So could be a flaw in the design there that didn't have any nitrogen on at the actual time of planting, and that it did have to delay that into the growth of the crop a little bit, but it's been done the same way every year. And I've had multiple entries each year that I've done the trial. So here we're looking at the actual yield results from 2019 and 2020, just totally different years in regards to nitrogen, so I thought that would be interesting to share with folks. So the blue bars would represent the 2019 yields, the orange bars would represent the 2020 yields. And as you can see, there was drastic differences. So last year in 2019, with no nitrogen applied, corn averaged 202 bushel to the acre. A maximum yield last year at 180 pounds at 275 bushel. This year, with no nitrogen applied, corn only averaged 56 bushel. This year also gave the highest yield of 222 bushel at the 180 pound nitrogen rate as well. Pretty drastic differences between the 2 years. I would say 2020 has been the lowest yields I've seen at the lower nitrogen rates versus previous years that I have done this trial. This is another way that I've enjoyed looking at the data the last couple years, was basically to look at what percent of the maximum yield that I achieve at the given nitrogen rates. So if you look at the 2019 data with no nitrogen, we achieved 74% of maximum yield, and at only 60 pounds of N, we achieved 91% maximum yield. And now compare that to 2020 yields. At no nitrogen, we only achieved 25% of maximum yield, and at 60 pounds of N, only 63%, and we still didn't even hit 90% maximum yield at 120 pounds of nitrogen. So I enjoy doing this trial. Granted, there's not a whole lot that it does as far as providing insights for things that we could have fixed for this given year, but it does give me some insights into what we may be experiencing now and how we managed this year. So certainly it appears that nitrogen is more of a limiting factor in corn production in 2020. Some of the other nitrogen trials that I've already harvested would suggest similar trends, to where we're seeing bigger yield increases with supplemental nitrogen put on than what we've seen in previous years. And anecdotally, myself and others have been seeing this play out in fields as well. Areas where we would have had more nitrogen loss, or maybe in practices where we didn't put on quite as much nitrogen, we're seeing it have a bigger hit on yields this year than we have in previous years. Thanks for listening today. Stay tuned for more yield updates coming from other trials that we conduct, and hope everybody has a successful harvest.